You're listening to the DolphinsTalk.com podcast network.
Come on, let's turkey trot. Let's get it while it's hot.
You're listening to the Thanksgiving episode of the Dolphins Talk Daily Podcast with Mike Oliva and Ian Berger.
Happy Thanksgiving, everyone, and thank you for listening to the Thanksgiving episode of the DolphinsTalk.com podcast on this Wednesday evening, November the 27th. I am your host, Mike Oliva, joined this week by Tom Ernest. Tom, happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving, my friend. Lots to be thankful for. Hopefully by 11:30 tomorrow night, we have something more to be thankful for. After stuffing our stomachs full of turkey and all the fixings, hopefully the Dolphins bring home a win.
Yeah, hopefully, and we will be live after the game on Thursday night with the post-game wrap-up show. And I do want to make an announcement that Big E, Ian Berger, wanted to join me this week on the show in his regular Wednesday spot. I spoke to him all week, just not feeling up to it quite yet. Hopefully he can return soon. And, you know, this is probably Ian's most favorite show all year because I put on all this stuff and look like a fool. So I was like, I'm still putting it on anyways because I know he's going to watch. I know he's going to see this. And I want to give the big guy a laugh and look like like a fool for him. So, Ian, we're all thinking about you. We're all praying for it. We all hope everything goes well. We hope you have a great Thanksgiving and get well soon. And so you can come back here each and every Wednesday and talk some Dolphins football.
Yeah, buddy. I hope you feel better. And, you know, I got the invite here a little bit late today. I wish I knew. I would have grabbed my own turkey hat and turkey glasses. I feel out of place right now. I just don't have the fun stuff that you have, Mike.
I will pick up the slack for the both of us. And before we get to all the news, and there's a lot of news in the game tomorrow night, a quick word from our sponsor.
The DolphinsTalk.com podcast network is sponsored by Caneswear. Caneswear is the place to go for officially licensed apparel for the Miami Dolphins, Miami Heat, the Hurricanes, Florida Panthers, and all of the professional and college teams in South Florida. Looking for the latest jersey, a birthday gift, or the newest hat to hit the market of your favorite South Florida team? Check out Caneswear for their overwhelming selection of sports apparel. Located at 2655 South University Drive, Davie, Florida, Caneswear has it all. Not in South Florida? No worries. Visit Caneswear.com to shop their inventory from the comfort of your home, and they'll ship it to you. International fans, too. Caneswear.com is the spot that Miami fans shop. That's Caneswear.com. Caneswear.com.
All right. So a few bits of news, housekeeping. Number one, happy birthday today to Adam Joseph, AJ Dewey. It's his birthday. Want to wish him a very happy birthday, Miami Dolphins legend. Also, this is the 30th anniversary, Tom, of the fake spike game today. Dan Marino, fake spike game. What are your memories from that game?
I remember I was across the street. Now, this is purest day memory when it comes to Dan Marino and that spike play. I was across the street at my friend's house in the basement. We were playing, I think, bumper pool or something like that, and the Dolphins and Jets game was on the TV. And I just remember, I thinking they were going to lose, and I saw Marino get everyone up to the line to spike it. I'm yelling, spike it, and then he threw it, and I was confused. I was very confused about why he threw the football, but as soon as I saw that it was caught for a touchdown, I was like, you've got to be kidding me. Won this game. There is no way that this happened. So the Dan Marino spike game forever, ever etched into my mind. And I wish they were honestly playing the Jets this weekend just on the anniversary. It would have been just a perfect coincidence that they would have been playing them this weekend.
Yeah, they were down 24-6 in that game, and they came storming back. And, of course, Mark Ingram caught all 4 touchdowns. Just one of the most iconic Miami Dolphins games ever. Also, we are giving away here at this website a Mercury Morris autographed jersey, a 17-0 inscription. It's authentic. Authentic. How do you say that word with little stickers?
Authenticated.
Authenticated. That's why Tom's the best in the business. All you got to do to win, and this is literally all you got to do, go to patreon.com/DolphinsTalk. Sign up. Sign up for $3, you get a couple entries. Sign up for $5, you get a few more. Just go to patreon.com/DolphinsTalk, and you can win. It's all you got to do is sign up and pay. Because on our Patreon service, we got extra podcasts. We got a private message board. We play games. We give away a lot of stuff like this. So check out the Dolphins Talk Patreon, patreon.com/DolphinsTalk. Sign up by December 6th, and that's what I'm going to pick for a winner. So sign up for that. Richmond Webb did a great interview with Seth and OJ from the Fish Tank. I want everyone to go to the Miami Dolphins YouTube channel and watch the Richmond Webb interview. Richmond Webb, we all know he belongs in the Hall of Fame. It's a crime that he's not in the Hall of Fame. But this interview with Seth and OJ was fantastic. Check it out on YouTube because you can actually see it then too, which is really good. So go to the Miami Dolphins YouTube channel and watch Seth and OJ interview Richmond Webb. Well, what else we got here? Okay, 6 rental cars. They still suck. If you're going to rent a car anywhere, South Florida or anywhere, don't use 6 rental car. SIXT. Not going to go through the whole story again. If you're a longtime listener and you've heard us the past few weeks, you know why. 6 rental cars stinks on toast. All right, Tom. Dolphins Packers tomorrow night. Some news. Teron Armstead is questionable. He hasn't practiced per Barry Jackson of the Miami Herald, the great Barry Jackson. He hasn't practiced in 3 weeks until today. So he is listed as questionable, but he's listed as questionable a lot. Don't know if we should read anything into it. Kendall Fuller, Anthony Walker, and Tyus Bowser are out and will not play. For the Packers, they're going to be without Romeo Doubs, their wide receiver, cornerback Jair Alexander, and linebacker Edrin Cooper. What are your thoughts with some of that news?
I'm not surprised with the Armstead. Listen, put him in bubble wrap all week. The man is incredible on Sundays. That's all that matters. Well, we need him for Thursday this week, but you know what I mean. Game day, he shows up each and every game, and he performs. He's played every game. He's doing extremely well. So I don't care in that regards. Losing Tyus Bowser, that stinks because they're already a little thin at linebacker, and he's been performing admirably for the Dolphins. You know, there's not many games where you're sitting there watching and going, oh, what the hell is Bowser doing? Why did he do that? We're not saying that. So that means he's doing his job, and he's doing a decent job. Not surprised on Fuller. Anthony Walker, we know about that happened last week, but Dotson's going to fill in, and he's going to, you know, if he can make plays like he did on Sunday, I'm no worries. For the Packers, losing Romeo Doubs, which is arguably their best wide receiver, that is a big blow to their offense. Jair Alexander, who was the one doing the Waddle in the Christmas Day game a couple years ago as he was leaving the field, he's not playing. That's a big loss for their secondary, you know, because he did a great job on Tyreek Hill in that game. I don't think he covered Waddle a lot. I mean, Waddle had a pretty decent showing.
He caught that long touchdown to start the game.
He did.
77 yards or something.
So that is a big loss there. And Edrin Cooper, I think that's a rookie from A&M, if I'm not mistaken. I remember researching him a lot prior to the 2024 draft. So him also missing. I think that's more of a depth player. I don't know if he's the starter for the Packers or not. But, you know, I think it's an even playing field going into this game tomorrow night. Both teams have to play in that frigid weather, and both teams have some injuries. So we'll see how it plays out. But I cautiously, very, very cautiously optimistic, Mike.
People are really loving my hat and glasses combo this year. I do my best to entertain. Yeah, I think for Miami, Kendall Fuller's been out a few weeks. I think they'll be okay. Tyus Bowser, he's only been here a few weeks. I think they'll be okay. Anthony Walker stings because now there's no Long, no Walker. And in the middle of the, you know, Miami's had some trouble stopping the run. The Packers can run the ball with the best of them. So that's going to be the big one, I would say, that Miami needs to address. But Jordan Love is without a weapon, and Miami's talented wide receivers hopefully can attack the Packers secondary down one of their corners. So each team's going to be a little bit hampered here. and which team can overcome it, really probably win the game. And I think the key to this game, too, is one thing. Alec Ingold only played 9 snaps versus the Patriots. Really wasn't needed. He's starting to come over an injury. He's a Wisconsin guy. He's going back home. Sure, he's going to have a lot of family there. For Miami to win, I think Alec Ingold's like one of the big key factors in this game. Absolutely. Because the running game really hasn't worked without him. So they're going to need him back. Other news, Isaiah Wynn back on the team. Will not start, though. This is Robert Jones' job at left guard. But Isaiah Wynn is back. So God forbid someone goes down. You might see Isaiah Wynn out there at one of the spots, guard, especially. Shaq Barrett, Tom, since we haven't done a show since that Shaq Barrett news broke. What day was that on? Yesterday, Tuesday? He unretired. Said, I want to play after he, all offseason, at the start of the offseason in March, he put the Jets against Miami to get the most money, and he got the most money out of Miami. Signs with Miami. Went through mini camps, OTAs, all that stuff, even training camp. I quit. I retire. Okay. And everyone knows what happened in his family a year or so back. Everyone was understanding. It is what it is, and nobody faulted him for that at all. But this came out of left field clearly on Tuesday that he wants to play now. And how it's going to work per Cameron Wolf of the NFL Network is the Miami Dolphins have to 4 o'clock on Thursday, Thanksgiving Day. They decide if they want to put Shaq Barrett on the roster, and he will get a prorated portion of his salary, what he signed for. Or they can say no, and Shaq Barrett won't be cut, won't be released, won't go to another team. He's just not going to play this year. So it's Miami or nothing for Shaq Barrett. I don't know what they're going to do. And it sounded like from the people in the media, Mike McDaniel, Anthony Weaver, when they were speaking, this caught them off guard. They weren't given a heads up, it sounds like, unless they're lying, which they could be. I don't know, Tom. This could go either way. This really could go either way. If I had to bet a buck, I'd say Miami's not going to bring him back.
Not for, I believe it's going to be $3 to $4 million for just the summer football games.
1.2.
It's a lot of money. Granted, I think everything really hinders on what happens tomorrow night, right? So if the Dolphins if they win that game, they get to 6-6, and they got those remaining 5 games left. Could they use a pass rusher? Absolutely. Because we still don't know if Bradley Chubb is even going to grace the Dolphins with his presence this year on the football field. So I'm not opposed to it, but the Dolphins have to be in position to warrant bringing him back in the fold. For me, yes, the tragedy was awful. He played that season, the season after it occurred. And then he wanted to continue to play, signed with the Dolphins in March, left the team on the eve of training camp, says, I'm all set. But in, September or October, goes on Kay Adams' show, and she asked him, what would bring you out of retirement? He says, to play for the Bucs. So when you put the football perspective into this, if I'm the Dolphins, no, you're not bringing him back. You're not releasing him. You're not letting him go to where he wants to go. Let him figure that out in the offseason. They signed him for big money for a 1-year deal. He backed out. His prerogative, his call. That's perfectly fine. But don't go on a national media TV show while you're under a contract with the Miami Dolphins saying, I'll only come back to play for Tampa Bay. To me, that doesn't sit well. So you don't want to break up the dynamic on the football team, but I also understand if you're not going to get Bradley Chubb back into the fold.
That would be the reason to bring him back. Yep.
That is the 100% the reason to bring him back, is if you need that additional pass rusher, because your top guy right now is your rookie, is Chop Robinson. You need pass rushers, especially down the stretch against quality quarterbacks. You need to get after them. You can't have enough pass rushers. They win tomorrow night. I'm fully on board saying, come on back, buddy. We'll pay you your money, your prorated amount. You play football for us for 5 weeks, and then you can figure out what you want to do next year. But they got to win tomorrow night. There's no other way around it.
Yeah, I agree. It's going to be interesting to see what they do. Miami added a new long snapper because Blake Ferguson, no one knows what the heck's going on there. So, they keep adding a new long snapper to the practice squad, then they call him up each week for the game, and you can only do this so many times. So they're burning through long snappers. So they have a new long snapper this week, Zach Trenner, which really makes me think now and believe, like, you can get a long snapper anywhere. He seems to be 6 and 1/2 dozen the other. I don't know. I mean, when you can sign one every 3 to 4 weeks and like you don't see any big change, it really shows that it's a position that holds little value. But they have a new long snapper, so of course it's something bad could happen. And I hope I didn't just jinx them. Something bad could happen. Tua was named the Miami Dolphins representative for the 2024 Art Rooney Sportsmanship Award. So how it works is each team selects a player to be a representative, and out of the 32 players that are picked, one of them will be the Art Rooney Sportsmanship Award winner. Tua is Miami's representative, so congratulations to him on that. And I'm going to bring this up because, this has been reported in the Miami Herald. Omar Kelly spoke about a little bit, and fans of the Dolphins just lose their minds when they hear this, and it's really not that big a deal. Which Omar mentioned, if the Dolphins, the next couple of weeks, say they lose and they're out of the playoff mix and they're not going to make the playoffs, and, say they lose to the Packers and lose to the Jets and it's over, they will probably release Calais Campbell so he can sign on with another team and have a chance to be in the playoff. Like, he's 38. He probably won't be here next year. He's probably going to retire. And if we're out of the playoff mix, who the hell cares? Dolphins fans, some of them just don't understand. They can't wrap their head around that. It's like, it's not that big a deal. They're saying if we're out of the playoff mix. If we're out of the playoff mix, who cares at that point? You're going to miss the final 2-3 games from Miami? It doesn't matter. So, fans of Dolphins, I've seen so many, it's fake, it's not going to happen. No, it's just not that big a deal. And some fans just lose their mind when they read that. I don't know. It's not that big a deal. And I think everyone, should be prepared for that if they do lose a couple games, which we're 5-6. It's not unheard of. It might happen, Tom.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Calais Campbell has paid his dues in the NFL. If he wants to go to a winner and the Dolphins aren't going to give him that opportunity to at least make the playoffs, then
who cares?
Yeah, who cares? At that point, who cares?
And if he wants to play next year, he can just sign with Miami as a free agent, which he's going to have to do anyways.
Correct. Because he's only on a 1-year deal. So it doesn't, and it'd be a good faith move for him, and, players talk, right? Players talk around, hey, how's it being in Miami, this and that and the other thing. There's no surprise to why Miami's ranked so high among the NFL players when it comes to facility, how they treat you, how they treat your family, this and that and the other thing. Miami was number 1 for a reason, right? So that's the Calais Campbell. If the Dolphins are out of the playoff mix, which could happen within the next 2 weeks,
or 3, whatever,
or 3, and we're getting to the home stretch, Miami Dolphins could be like, "Hey, we're going to waive you, Calais. Good luck. They're going to land, somewhere that has a chance at a playoff push." So, and Calais will answer a phone call from a young free agent who got a call from the Dolphins and say, "Hey, what's it like being in Miami?" What's Calais going to say? Obviously, rave reviews.
They did right by me. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. One last thing, which I forgot, I just remembered. The Miami Dolphins released earlier this week Lester Cotton. When Wynn came back, they wanted to re-sign him and put him on the practice squad, but he had to clear waivers. He didn't. He signed with the Patriots. So Lester Cotton's now on the Patriots. Marcus May, same thing. Patrick McMorris is back, so they had to waive someone to open up a spot. They waived Marcus May. They wanted to re-sign him, put him on waivers. He was claimed by the Chargers. So those two. So no more Lester Cotton, no more Marcus May. Lester Cotton, I really don't care about because he wasn't very good. Marcus May,
that's tough.
Let's just hope Jordan Poyer doesn't continue to stink. All I'm going to say. Otherwise, because Patrick McMorris, this was done not necessarily for him to play this year much, just they don't want to lose him. And Marcus May, I'm not saying he's great, he's a superstar, but he was insurance for Jordan Poyer, really. So we'll see how that plays out. A little bit of a risk there, and they got burned, but it is what it is. Okay. Everyone, some shout outs. Be sure to go to finheaven.com, largest Miami Dolphins message board on the internet. Also, check out the I Am a Miami Dolphins fan Facebook page run by the great and talented Carlos Hernandez. If you're on Facebook, please be sure you are part of the I Am a Miami Dolphins fan Facebook page. And wherever you're listening to this podcast, whether it's YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Audible, Podbean, Podchaser, or one of the other 100 platforms we're on, hit that subscribe button. If you're watching us live on YouTube or after the fact on YouTube, smash that like button, hit the subscribe button, subscribe. We got shows every day of the week, multiple hosts. We got some new shows about to start. You don't want to miss an episode. And again, Thursday night, right after the game, Tom and myself will be live. And a quick mention to our sponsor, one of our sponsors, Mellow Seltzer. Easy for me to say. It's late, folks. Mellow Seltzer. That's right. Mellow Seltzer is the seltzer that's taking America by storm. Mellow THC Seltzer comes in wild berry, grapefruit, strawberry, mango, and half, which is lemonade and iced tea. A mix of madness, genius, and a little bit of chaos. To bring you the best sips in the universe. With 5 milligrams of THC in this drink, Mellow is revolutionizing the way you unwind. Each sip is designed to gently lift your spirits and ground your senses. Go to mellowseltzer.com on how and where to purchase Mellow Seltzer. All right, Tommy.
Yes,
it's
sir.
time. It's that time in the show where you got to see if you can win the game that is sweeping the nation. It's now time to play Two Truths and a Lie. All right. So everyone knows this game if you're a longtime listener, watcher of the Dolphins Talk podcast. Florida man. A lot of crazy things happen in Florida. So I got 3 Florida man stories. 2 of them are true. 1 is a lie. I'm going to read the headline. Tom has to guess which one is the lie. For those of us in the chat on YouTube, play along. No Googling. We play for pride, not prize. Headline number 1. Naked Florida man humps tree, punches deputy. Headline number 2. Florida man robbed a bank using the back of his birth certificate as note to the teller. Story number 3. Florida man tries to shoot puppy. Puppy shoots him instead.
I love these headlines.
Tom, share your thought process here. Share your logic. We got 3 good ones this week. We got a naked man humps a tree and punches a deputy. We got a Florida man robbed a bank, and when he handed the note to the teller, he used the back of his birth certificate for the note. When a Florida man tries to shoot a puppy, and the puppy shoots him instead. I mean, let's be honest. All 3 of these could happen in Florida.
Absolutely. The first one really could be anywhere.
Lots of trees in this world, yeah.
Lots of trees, and something like that. It seems like it would happen in a mountainous area, like in like Colorado,
one of the Dakotas,
or something like that.
One of the Dakotas.
Yeah, one of the Dakotas too. You got to be careful though, in the Dakotas. But that just sounds like something that would happen in like a wilderness area, and that's not Florida. Florida's, swamplands and things. Not swamplands.
Alligators.
Alligator. Yeah, you know what I mean.
Palm trees, though. You might think a palm tree sexy. Just saying.
Yeah, the second one is straight out of like a Peter Farrelly movie.
Yes.
Wrote Dumb and Dumber, where I can
Harold and
see
Kumar
like a
movie
Jim
too.
Carrey going up and
Yeah.
trying to rob a bank using his birth certificate with the note on it. That is classic. That sounds more Florida-esque to me. The last one where a guy tries to shoot a puppy and a puppy shot him instead. I'm between 2 and 3, Mike.
Well, let's go to our people here. We got Jordan Murray says number 3 is the lie with the puppy. He thinks 1 and 2 are true. Jeff Harris says 1 and 3 are true, and he thinks number 2, the bank one's fake. So we got, I don't know if it's much help because everyone's got a different opinion, but there's people sharing. Those are 2 longtime listeners. They've followed this game for many years, so they're well versed in this game.
Yep. And I'm 0-1 in this game, so I need to get this one right. So
we got here. Brian thinks number 3 is the. I'm sorry, wrong one. Thinks number 3 is the lie. What's up, Chef? How you doing?
What's up, Chef? Oh God. So I'm gonna go with the bank story. I'm gonna go with writing on the back of the certificate to rob a bank, the birth certificate, to to just get arrested as soon as you leave because you have your identification. That's pure Florida move right there.
Okay. Yeah, but you gotta tell me which one's not Florida.
Which one's not Florida?
Yeah. Come on,
Number
Tom, you gotta know
one.
the game.
Number one is not Florida.
Okay, so the
The
one with the
man
man
up in
humps
the
the
tree and
tree,
punching
that's
the
the
dog.
lie, not a Florida man story.
That is correct.
Okay.
Number one
Well-
is not a Florida story.
Okay. Well, unfortunately, you should have stuck with number 2 because the one with the bank is not the Florida man story. So you're now 0 for 2 in this game. Let's go through these stories here. So the one with the tree, damn headphones keep falling off.
It's the hat,
is a
Mike. It's
21
the hat. The bird
Yeah, it's
keeps
the hat.
knocking it off.
It's the 21-year-old Alonzo Sanchez was seen hugging and hip thrusting a tree. He was completely naked and high at the time. Shocking. This happened in Lehigh Acres, Florida. Before the deputies got to him, the Florida man ran into the street and was nearly hit by a car and had to swerve out of the way to avoid him. When the deputies finally caught Mr. Sanchez, he punched them in the face. And after a brief struggle, he was apprehended and taken to Lehigh Acres Regional Hospital. He faces a battery charge and was booked into Lee County Jail after his hospital visit. So number 1 is a Florida man story that is true. Number 3, the puppy one. This one's great. This happened in September. This just happened September 9th of this year. And once again, guys with 3 names. Anybody who uses 3 names, just avoid them. They're always crazy. Jerry Allen Bradford, 37, was being treated at the hospital for a gunshot wound to his wrist. A man who tried to shoot. Now, he tried to shoot 7 puppies, was shot himself when one of the dogs put his paw on the revolver's trigger. This is a true story from NBC News. On Monday, Mr. Bradford was holding 2 puppies, one in his arm and one in his left hand, when the dog in his hand wiggled and put his paw on the trigger of his .38 caliber revolver. The gun then discharged, the sheriff said. Deputies found 3 of the puppies in a shallow grave outside of Mr. Bradford's home. What an asshole. He killed 3 dogs before this happened. I guess the other 2 are like, you think you're getting me too? Watch this, pal. No. The other 4 dogs appeared to be in good health. So he was going to shoot all 7. But he only got to 3 before one said enough's enough. And yeah, the dogs saw the gun, saw what the owner was doing. I'm going to put my paw here. Let's see how you like it. Good for the dog. Dog of the year right there. Screw Lassie. That's your dog of the year. Who shot the assholes trying to kill 7 dogs. And the one you missed is a true story just from Missouri, Tom. The bank robber was in Missouri. A Missouri man pleaded guilty to robbing a local Bank of America branch using a demand note written on the back of his own birth certificate while he was also wearing an ankle monitor related to a previous case. The device easily placed him at the scene, according to court paperwork. He did it all. He admitted it to authorities to prove a point to his lover, though it's unclear from the court records what point he was trying to make. Again, a man with 3 names, Michael Conley Lloyd, 30, entered his plea to 1 count of bank robbery. In the complaint, it said he wrote on the back of his birth certificate in a pink highlighter. Yes, he used his birth certificate in a pink highlighter. What did he write? Pretty much saying, hand over all the money. He got away with $754. So I don't know what point he was trying to prove, but all he got from the bank teller was $754. Again, easy to catch. He has a possible sentence of 20 years and a $250,000 fine. So that is this week's.
He could use the $750 towards his bill.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure they're going to make him return that very quickly. But yes, that was a good. That story with the dog is just so uplifting. That dog, like, you're going to kill 3 other dogs. You think I'm going in that grave with them? That's like the Clint Eastwood of dogs. Okay, watch this, pal. Make my day. Boom. Put his paw on the revolver. Shot the guy in the wrist. I said where I'd have to look. Sherman. Where in Missouri? Let me see if I can find the story. This happened in 2022. What part of Missouri? I don't know if it says. If I find it later, I'll put it on social media. It doesn't say which town in Missouri. Okay. Dolphins, Packers, two very good teams. Total offense, Miami 20th, Green Bay 5th. Passing offense, Miami 19th, Green Bay 11th. Rushing offense, Miami 16th, Green Bay 3rd. Scoring offense, Miami 24th, Green Bay 8th. Defense, this is where they're very evenly matched. Total defense, Miami 7th, Green Bay 12th. Passing defense, Miami 8th, Green Bay 10th. Rushing defense, Miami 9th, Green Bay 13th. Scoring defense, Miami 11th, Green Bay 10th. Tom, Miami must run the ball this week. I think that's going to be the key to this game. They got to get back to running the ball like they were probably like a month ago. They got to, keep the Packers offense off the field. And I think they want to be the more physical team, which for them doesn't happen every week. I think they got to get Tyreek Hill involved. I think he's, we saw them get Waddle involved last week. Jonnu Smith has been involved probably the past month or so. Now it's time to get, let's get all three of these guys involved. And I think we're due to see a big Tyreek Hill game. Last week, I predicted a big game for Waddle. This week, I think we're going to see a big game from Hill. I think he's going to step up. And I think on the other side of the ball for Miami, they got to stop or at least slow down. I don't think they can stop it. The Packers running game, these guys are running for 120, 140, 160 some weeks. They are just running it down the team's throat. And when they do pass, got to get pressure on Jordan Love. Got to see Chop continue to play well. Sealer, Campbell, get after him, make him uncomfortable. But really, I think it's about stopping the Packers' run game, and Miami's got to run the ball themselves. That's the key thing in this game for me.
If they learned anything from the Kansas City game last year is to stick to a run game, whether it's working or not. And last week, it was a prime example. They ran the ball 25 times and only got, I think, 68 yards. It was tough sledding against the Patriots defense. That's not great against the run. But he kept going with it because it elevated the play action passing game. It opened up a lot of things for Tua Tagovailoa and the offense, and obviously found success. So that needs to be the trend, right? And we know we have running backs that if they get just enough room can make big plays. And for the defensive side of it, stopping Josh Jacobs is the most priority. Obviously, they use Jayden Reed like Deebo Samuel in some cases, so you have to be mindful where Jayden Reed is at all times. And exactly what you said, Mike. Jordan Love has been turning the football over this season frequently. You have to get after him, and if you can cause those issues, if you can make him extend plays, that's where he turns the ball over, is when he thinks that he can throw across his body because he's got really great arm strength. He'll throw across his body across to the other side of the field. That's where you have to make those plays. Get those interceptions, bat those passes down, force the issue, and put points up. If the Dolphins can get on the board early tomorrow night, they may have a good chance. Because as we know with the Miami Dolphins this year, what are they doing? They are milking drives, 6, 7, 8-minute drives, putting points on the board, and they are converting third downs. They're one of the best third down conversion teams in the league, if not the best since Tua has returned. Keep the clock moving, keep Green Bay on the sideline offensively, and score on every drive. I don't care if you have to put 3 points on the board on a short field goal, just keep taking the points. Points are going to be at a premium tomorrow night, and the Dolphins need to get as many as humanly possible. Don't do stupid stuff at midfield on 4th and 2 and going for it and giving Green Bay a short field where they can go down and put points up. Play smart and effective football. Mike McDaniel on his play card should write KISS, not KISS. Keep it simple, stupid. That's all he's got to do. Keep it simple.
I agree. And one thing here, I would like to see Miami's game play from in front. I don't want to be playing catch up against the Packers because of how they can run the ball and how they can use play action off there. I just want to play from in front. I want to try to make the Packers one-dimensional where they have to throw more than run. That's number one. The other thing, another key player in this game, I think Alec Ingold's a big factor, and I'm going to hate to say this because I don't have faith in the guy. Our punter is going to have a good day. Like, he cannot shank a punt 35 yards and give them good field position. Jake Bailey, we're probably not going to go this whole game without having the punt. They're too good, the Packers. They're too good on defense. They're going to force us into a few punts. Jake Bailey really needs to have a solid day. Like, just once in your life, just have a good day. because I think that's going to be really important in a game of field position and stuff like that. Okay, it's time for the prediction part of the show. Dolphins and Packers.
It's now time for Mike and Ian's Fearless Predictions.
Dolphins and Packers, Thanksgiving night, 8:20 p.m. Eastern on NBC. Mike Tirico and Jason Garrett on the call. The frozen tundra of Lambeau Field. The Packers, Lombardi, Starr, Don Hudson, Jerry Kramer, Ray Nitschke, NFL royalty. And this Packers team is very good as well. One of the best teams in the league. So I can't joke about this current Packers team any. They're just too good. But I can joke about their fans, the cheeseheads. Packers fans are what happens when women drink during pregnancy. If I type stupid into Google, a picture of a Packers fan will show up. You know, Aaron Rodgers used to be normal. That's right, till he lived in Green Bay, Wisconsin for over a decade, where he became idealized by a bunch of fat, hairy, beer-drinking, cheese-loving farmers who are all somehow related to each other. Now look at Rodgers. He's a crazy person. That's what living in Green Bay for that long will do for you. Tom, what do you call a 350-pound Packer fan? I didn't hear you. What'd you say?
Oh, I'm losing internet connection. That's all.
Uh-oh. Okay, a 350-pound Packers fan is anorexic. Tom, what does a Wisconsin tornado have in common with cheesehead Packer fans going through a divorce?
What?
Either way, someone's going to lose a trailer. Tom, why do Packers fans smell so bad?
Oh, I have many guesses, but you can tell me.
So blind people can even hate them as well. Tom, what do you call a Packers fan with a sheep under his arm?
No
A
idea.
pimp. That's right, a pimp. Do you know the expression "fat girls need loving too" was created in Green Bay, Wisconsin? Yeah, it's true. It's true. Here, let me show you an example. Look, if you're watching on YouTube, you can see this. This is Bob. We're going to call him Bob to protect his name. Bob's a Packers fan. Do you know Baskin-Robbins called Bob, and they told him that Bob ate them down to only 5 flavors. He's a fat, disgusting slob. That's right. That's Bob, the Packers fan. Look, I could go on all day talking about gross, disgusting Green Bay Packers fan. And I have a joke here that's so vile. I don't even know if I can say it. What do you think, Tom? Should I say it?
Hey, go ahead.
It's bad.
It's your show.
Bad.
Come on.
Okay.
Hey, come on.
If there's little kids listening to this might be earmuffs time. I'm not going to say it. I don't want to. No, don't worry. Kids, I'm going to protect you. It's the holiday. Okay, but here's the deal. We got to play a game Thursday night. It's a big game. It's a meaningful game. Can Tua and the Dolphins kill some narratives? Can they go on the road and beat a good team in the cold and get back to 500? Big-time players make big-time plays in big games. Will the Dolphins, big-time players, show up? Tua will need to continue to play at a high level. Tyreek and Waddle have to show up and show the world why we paid them so much money. Jonnu Smith will have to continue to be a huge threat in the passing game. And we have Achane and Wright are going to have to ball out and run the ball down their freaking throats. We will need Jaylen Ramsey to continue to have a Pro Bowl season and for Chop Robinson to make Jordan Love's Thanksgiving night hell. Will Miami's big-time players make big-time plays in a big game? They have sucked me in one more time. We haven't come this far just to come this far. And I think Miami shocks the world on Thursday. Lose this hat, put on this hat. Dolphins 24, Packers 21. Let's kill some narratives while we eat a turkey sandwich Thursday night, Tom.
You are the Rodney Dangerfield of Dolphins talk. I tell you, the one-liner jokes, right on point.
And the one I didn't read, I'll tell you off there, it is a little.
Okay, yeah. I'm
made more
I'm
for the
intrigued
Tom Brady roast
to
audience,
hear it.
not for this audience.
All right. Will someone come up to you and say, "Don't ever say that again"? I wasn't.
Yeah, probably.
Just like Brady did with his own rope.
Yeah.
All right. So when it comes to this game, they've sucked me in way too many times. Also, like I was in belief they could beat the Buffalo Bills in week 2 at home. on a short week. I felt like they could overcome some of their, the Tua injury in a few of the games that they were playing, particularly against the Indianapolis Colts. And I felt like they could handle business against Arizona at home. They didn't do it. So there are many instances where the Dolphins get your hopes up, get you set up as a fan, that they're ready to make the run. They're ready to kill the narrative, so to speak. But then they just stick that dagger right in your back and say, not again this year. I'm so torn on this one. I've gone back and forth. I figured reasons why they're going to lose, because it's every time they go play in cold weather, it's the same song and dance. And then you look at the way that they've been playing from an offensive perspective and how they're controlling the clock, how they're, Tua is taking what the defenses are giving him and not forcing the football down the field, which is making them more effective on offense. I hate picking against my favorite team, Mike. I really do. So I'm not going to. I'm going to pick the Miami Dolphins to pull the upset 23-21 over the Packers with a Jason Sanders chip shot 35-yard field goal to win the game.
There we go. We're both picking Miami. We're, at some point they got to beat a good team. They got to beat a good team on the road, and they have to win a game in cold weather. I'm just playing the odds at this point because I think it's this week. If it's not this week, probably won't happen this year because we play Houston indoors, you play San Francisco at home. So this is a chance to win a cold weather game. This is a chance to keep their season alive. I know, some people say, well, they could lose this game. It's versus an NFC team. They're still okay. No, I think they got to win them all. Honestly, I do. I think they got to run the table to get in just to be sure. Because, you got these teams like the Colts who still have the Giants who quit, Jacksonville who's quit, the Patriots. I mean, some of these teams, yeah, they have hard matchups, but the majority of the games are against just dog crap teams. Not that Miami doesn't have easy games as well, but not that easy, okay? So I just think win them all, start this week, kill one of the narratives so we can stop hearing about it. And I know even if they beat the Packers, people can say, well, he only did it once. Okay, I'd rather hear them say he only did it once than say he's never done it and he never will. So I'd rather hear that he at least beat him only once. Let's because we got to start that. So let's start there. So yeah, that's where we are with that. Everyone have a great Thanksgiving. Really spend some time with family, friends, have some nice food, enjoy yourself, and whatever happens in this game, don't let it ruin your day. I know we're all fans of them to win. Don't let it ruin your day. But remember, when the game's over, Tom and myself will be here at the post-game wrap-up show right afterwards, and we'll be breaking it down. Follow Tom on Twitter at DolphinsTalk.com. Follow myself on all social media platforms at DolphinsTalk. Check out DolphinsTalk.com. We got a bunch of great articles to get you ready for the game that you're going to want to see. Tom, any closing thoughts?
Just this one. If they do win and things go well for them on Sunday with the other games going on, the Dolphins go from a 35% chance playoff odds, I believe, to over 50% chance if things fall in their favor, with the Jets on deck. So just remember.
Yeah. You got the Colts
win the game, and then you got the damn Jets at home on a mini bye week.
And I'll be going down for that game, which I thought a month ago, this game's going to stink. I don't even know why I'm going. I'm going there to see friends and stuff, but I'm like, this is going to be like, I don't even care about the game. But now this game might matter a lot, actually. But I'm going to be down there for that as well. And this week, I know the Colts are traveling to New England, and the Broncos are home to the Browns on Monday night. Those are the big ones to watch. Chargers are on a bye. Ravens have the Eagles. I forgot who Pittsburgh's playing, but I don't think it matters with them. So yeah, that's the matchups. And before I close it out, once again, Big E, we're thinking about you. We're praying for you. Hope you get well soon. I need you back here every Wednesday. I missed having a show with you. So get well soon. And hopefully the Dolphins can win on Thursday and lift you up a little bit there and make you feel a little better with everything you got going on. Everyone have a great Thanksgiving. We'll talk to you again after a while. And when you're on the streets, driving to grandma's house on Thursday or going wherever you're going to go, don't forget, we must put an end to highway profanity.
Fins up. Enjoy your Thanksgiving.